Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last session we arrived here at Ozima. Music? Okay, music just decided to suddenly go. We arrived here at Ozima and we have done a pretty thorough exploration of the lower levels. And we're now in the rich dudes section. And we need to go and talk to the various parties involved in the coming struggle for who will be the new ruler. So, first off, let's head into Haramont's estate. And see what we have to see here. Hello, butler.
Welcome to Lord Haramont's estate.
Pleasure.
Haramont is the rightful king, and you know that.
Even Balin's father rejected him in the end.
Banter, if true.
These are the personal apartments of High General Lord Haramont. No visitors are allowed at this time.
Well, I'm afraid I'm visiting, mate.
House Haramont is honored to have you here.
Correct. Correct answer. Cheeky chest.
I finished.
Anything? Another cheeky chest.
What now?
Scroll! A letter from King Endrin. My Lord Haramont, my guilt weighs heavily on me, and I now know that I was a fool. Only a fool would cut out his own heart and burn it for the sake of appearances. I allowed the assembly to send my child to exile and death because I feared an inquiry into Trian's murder would taint our house with scandal. You have been my rock and my shield these long months, and for that I thank you. But I must ask for one thing more. I wish to discover if my child survived. Even the smallest trace will set my mind at ease. Send your men, your scouts, anyone who will go. Balin thinks I am mad. He says that if word spreads of my house, of my wish rather, our house will be undone. He doesn't know that Aducan is already lost. I destroyed us when I sacrificed what was most precious. Please, Pyrrell, help me. I come to you not as a king, but as a father. Interesting.
Greetings, Grey Warden.
You must be under great strain with the blight upon the land. I will pray to the stone for you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Let's go see what this lad wants for us. Dulin.
We are honored by your trust.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Ferelden, second to Lord Haramont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position.
It is. Sort your shit out, mate. I have a treaty obliging Ozima to aid against a blight.
That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Haramont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties.
How can I prove I'm not working for Balin?
That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Haramont's best fighters into stepping down.
So you'd like me to enter the proving in Haramont's name?
It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Haramont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
I'll enter the proving and see why the others withdrew.
Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the proving master and tell him you're entering Lord Haramont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Baisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
Alright, a Lord's Trust, the first task. Win the proving in Haramont's name. Now if I go to the other dude...
These are the personal apartments of High General Lord Haramont. No visitors are allowed.
If I go to the other dude, is he going to ask me to fight on his side? I don't really know anything about these guys, like, their policies. I know the king chose that guy over his son, but potentially it's just because he helped him cover some shit up. So, what are their policies?
Lord Haramont entrenched in the past. How long can he ignore that Ozima?
Greetings.
We are honored to have you here.
Okay, what have we got around here?
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
Are you daft?
Piss and shit.
Greetings. You won't regret helping our prince, Warden.
Okay, what have we got? The Throne of Ozima. Looks cool. New Codex, caged in stone. The inscription is old and worn, overlooked by most as a carving detail. The beast is foreign, but the need is familiar. Home and hearth suffer beneath strength and strangeness. These new kin of this Ferelden are better as friends than strangers, so we resist on their behalf, and work with their users to bind with the stone. They no longer fear their skies, and we further our trade above. Lured from above, cornered and corralled. 3 standing in position, a 4th signals the throne. Stasis for the beast, so long as a king holds the throne, so long as a king wills it held. Back in the Exalted era. Age. I'm wondering if we may... wondering if we can still find the dude, or whether saying we'll help that guy has potentially locked us out of helping this guy. God, which was the new one of these? Is that new? Your ministrations, while well-intentioned, hold no promise. Do not despair, for it is not you, it is me. I require an interval to acquaint myself with the personage you awakened. I'm certain we can maintain an amiable accord, and that engagements with our mutual associations will not be awkward. Oh wait, that's where I came from. Many of King Endrin's belongings have been rushed into storage, including trophies of his long reign. Among the boxes is a small glass phylactery. The area is unnaturally cold. Dark shapes swirl around a slip of paper within the vial. I've seen this fucking trick before. This is the trick where I die and lose all my fucking progress. At least it wouldn't be too long this time, but still. Take the vial. Greetings, bitch.
Yes.
Oh shit. Any hits? 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 That'd be great. A hit would be just the best.
Oh, you are that's what you are.
All right.
Let's make this quick.
Oh, Wynn didn't heal Shale. Brilliant. Fantastic. Well done, Wynn. You're fucking good at your job.
I'm wounded. I can't go on like this.
I think I've missed maybe like 95% of my swings here. Fantastic stuff. Just the best.
Oh, time to change. How about you then?
This is just dumb. Just hit your target.
All right, I'm game. How amusing.
Fuck me.
Being rained on all those decades must have slowed me down.
I stand ready.
Oh, it's already active. So you don't have any injuries? No. Good. Sure. Codex updated. The second one, I think, is new. Cast from your host, may you find no purchase on mortal ground. Bound by your true name, as we are sworn to do. Nethimus Biggle, revenant and perversion of a fine daughter. No more will you test the veil, nor reach the fade to escape. Andraste holds you, demon, and bind your rage for eternity. It's just so depressing, like, that fight should have ended, like, a full couple of minutes before it did. Because it was just miss, 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 miss.
This isn't the
Why are we always...
What the fuck?
And I'm on it. Oh, good. Oh, look, it was the fight. Time to play. Yes, behind you. Going. Yes. All right.
Be careful!
Oh, hey, look at that. Haste isn't on again.
Immediately.
What's going on? By the Ancestors.
Good on you,
And
Warden.
nor is the
You've
fucking
caught them in the
regen
act.
thing.
I guess desperate times drive people to strange things. Thanks again, Warden.
You're welcome. Anything in here? Oh. I see where we are. Okay, so can I not find this dude to talk to then? Speak to earn an audience. You must speak with his second in command in the assembly chamber. Oh, right. Okay, he was never in here. Assembly chambers over here, right? I do believe. Indeed. Hello.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Ozima to host your order.
Damn straight.
I am Vartak Devorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring?
You know who I am?
It would be hard not to notice the Grey Warden and his eclectic entourage. I hear you seek the aid of Orzamar's finest.
This treaty obliges Ozima to send troops to the surface.
Ah, ancient documents indeed. These were signed in the reign of Eithnar Bimo, Paragon and King. That was 16 generations ago. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
Can I talk to Balin?
You must understand, Haramont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper.
What must... I thought King Endrin himself supported Haramont.
That hurts worst of all. That Haramont would take advantage of the dying king's delirium to plant such poisonous suspicions against his own son. After that, you understand why Balin cannot trust the word of a stranger, however reputable that stranger might be.
I promise I'm no spy.
Would you be willing to prove that? Haramont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Haramont's deception...
Irrefutable evidence? Which I suppose you have?
I'm certain my Lord Prince would
Let's see
show
this
his
irrefutable
gratitude.
evidence. That would certainly change things. What kind of evidence?
Haramont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Haramont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Haramont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
Interesting, so he is a bit of a tool. Where did you get the notes?
That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty.
Isn't there someone you could report them to?
Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies. They are the final arbiters of all disputes in Ozima. Unfortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them, and his grandfather was Lord Haramont's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion.
He'll hold a distant relative over his duty?
I guess I can't expect you surfacers to understand the importance of family in Ozima. The Shaper is biased, and if you want Prince Balin's help, you'll have to show where your loyalties lie. Will you do it?
Sure.
Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at Tapster's in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
Okay, a prince's favor, the first task. Cool.
The assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough. The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
Huge banter. Phenomenal. Hello, Bandalore. What quest is this again? You attempted to address the Assembly, but they were deaf to your concerns while the throne is up for grabs. Right. I mean, they weren't deaf to my concerns. I didn't say my concerns. I walked in, had a listen, walked out.
Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in.
You don't recognize the Grey Warden?
Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Ozima, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard.
I've been seeing.
Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne.
Is there any way I can break the stalemate?
I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Haramont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you. Warden, I'm afraid the Assembly is still locked in debate. What can I do for you?
Who's on the Assembly?
Only members of the noblest houses are eligible. Those who claim a Desher, General, or Paragon among their ancestors. As steward, I am a non-voting member. I'm not permitted to voice opinions about the vote, although I am forming some about our members.
How is the election looking now?
At this point, they're stone for stone. I wouldn't put any coin on the outcome. It's still up in the air, though. One big surprise, and it could go either way.
Alrighty. I'm guessing I can't walk in here. No, locked. Okay. Good stuff. Back out to the quarter, the diamond quarter. And was there like one more place or a couple more places? Shaper 8. Howdy.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories?
Shaper Assistant Mildrate.
Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shaperate. What have we been reduced to?
Did you get a good look at him?
I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine.
Oh, imagine.
He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dusttown. They couldn't know the value.
Thief in the House of Learning. Track down the thief who stole a tome. A shaper reported a theft. Can I, like, help the thief? Can I, tell him the fucking true value and then get some cash injection into the castless?
Disgusting. Someone stole from the shaper. Yes, that's the...
Excuse me, I can't chat.
Order. Oh, wait. First off, we have the Legion of Steel. Paragon Caradin vanished in the 11th year of the reign of King Valtor, and with the Paragon the entire process for golem manufacture was lost. Expeditions were sent into the Deep Roads to track him, but the Darkspawn drove them all back. Finally, in the 2nd year of the reign of Queen Getha, 126 golems, the entire Legion of Steel, were sent to recover the Paragon. None returned. The Shaper of Golems refused to support any further attempts to find Caradin, and the Paragon was officially declared dead. The Shaper 8 never discovered from the loss of... Did I say discovered? Never recovered from the loss of an entire legion of golems, and never again allowed an all-golem regiment in the Deep Roads. Sup?
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research.
Sounds important. Looking to hire help?
Not exactly, but... I'm looking for any birth records from the old Orton Tig. It fell in the last blight, and my mother's family claims to be related. If I'm an Orton, it means I'm noble. I'd have my own house, a seat in the assembly. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the Deep Roads.
I'm a Grey Warden. I'm not afraid of the Deep Roads.
A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Haramont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
Lost to the memories. Thanks for the memories. Okay.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back.
I never left your sight, mate.
Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Orton Tig?
I'll let you know if I find something.
Whatever you do, I'd be grateful.
Okie dokie.
I'm sorry, you'll have to bother someone else with your question.
Rude. Deep Roads. Okay. This is going to be a big one. There isn't a dwarf alive who remembers the Deep Roads as they once were. They were the network of tunnels that joined the Tigs together. To be honest, it isn't even right to give them such a simple term as tunnels. They are works of art, with centuries of planning demonstrated in the geometry of their walls, with the statues of the paragons that watch over travellers, with the flow of lava that keeps the Deep Roads lit and warm. It's lit! The cloud gazers up on the surface talk of the Imperial Highway, built by the Magisters of old, a raised walkway that crossed thousands of miles, something that could only have been built by magic. Perhaps it is comparable to the Deep Roads, although we dwarves didn't need magic. I suppose it doesn't even matter anymore. The Darkspawn rule the Deep Roads now. When Ozima sealed off the entrances to the Deep Roads, abandoning everything that lay out there, we handed over the kingdom that was to those black bastards forever. To think that there are genlocks crawling over Bonamar now, tearing down our statues and defiling our greatest works. Corruption covers everything we built out there. Every dwarf who goes out and comes back says it gets worse with each passing year. The foulness spread a little further. And the cloud gazers think the Darkspawn are gone just because they aren't spilling out onto the surface? Huh. One day when Ozimar's gone for good, they'll find out differently. Those Darkspawn won't have anywhere else to go but up, and they'll do it. The surface folk will have themselves a blight that will never end. Yeesh. Ozima politics. As dangerous as it is to mistake a dwarf's caste, it is far more deadly to mistake his alliances among the noble houses of Ozima. Everyone in the city is allied with someone, whether by blood or by word. The nobles do not engage directly in commerce themselves, as that is the domain of the merchant caste, but they do serve as patrons. They invest in shops or in artisans' work, and in turn reap a share of the profits, as well as a measure of the credit. Merchants and warriors alike benefit from the service of a prestigious patron. The relative power of each house is ever changing. It is usually safe to assume that whichever noble house holds the throne is at the top of the heap, but below that things grow into a tangled mess. Houses ally with one another by marriage. They earn rank and prestige when combatants loyal to them, or from their own bloodlines, win provings. They earn it when artisans they patronize become sought after or well regarded, or when the merchants they invest in become successful. The degrees of power that these achievements confer is so murky, even to the dwarves, that it isn't unusual for nobles to challenge each other to provings over whose smith forges better belt buckles, or whose servants have the best manners. Nor is it out of the ordinary to find two merchants arguing over whose noble patron has won the most acclaim, for the rank of the patron is the rank of the client. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the assembly, where the Deshirs, representatives of each noble house, meet. Although the king technically rules Ozima, kings are elected by the assembly, and so each king must work constantly to maintain the support of the Deshirs. Kings who prove unpopular find their heirs deemed unacceptable to inherit the throne. Power then passes to another house. Yeah, this whole fucking system seems pretty fucking bad. Wall of Memories. Codex on Shapers. The Shaper's Life. I guess I've read part of this before because it was an update, but I don't remember. The blessing of the Shaperate is given only to those who walk with the stone. It is a path that cuts deep, and the road is far from secure, but those who desire to work in memory must first honor it. Document the stone, protect her, and present a new history to the memories. Only then will the blessing of the Shaperate be upon you. I think I've read the second bit. The Shaper must step away from the familiar and seek out revelations. Sure. Well, they were definitely right about this being the place of old lore and history and everything. There is a lot of codex. The Search for the True Prophet. This tattered tome explores the possibility that Andraste was a powerful mage and not the Maker's Chosen. It seems this book was saved from a fire at some point.
Just like you wanted.
Cheers, love. Traditional dwarven folk songs. Nug sits in the mud. Nug wiggles his ears. You catch the Nug, he slips away. Nug gets to live another day. Nug sits in the mud. Nug wiggles his toes. You hook the Nug, he slips away. Now the Nug runs off to play. Nug sits in the mud. Nug wiggles his nose. You tickle the Nug, he laughs away. Now the Nug sits on my plate. Oh, I was not expecting that last line. Dwarven Faith. Man, it is a real good day to have that fucking belt equipped that gives me bonus XP for every codex I read, huh? The Chant of Light is almost never heard in the halls of Ozima. This is hardly surprising, for unlike the elves who were literally abandoned by their gods, or the Tevinters who worshipped dragons, the dwarves have no gods at all. Even the concept of worship is foreign in Ozima. Instead, the dwarves seem to venerate the stone, a name they give to the earth itself. This seems practical for a people living underground, if perhaps a bit unimaginative. For guidance in spiritual matters, they turn to their that's kind of funny, that's kind of a bit meta. They're saying this seems a bit unimaginative, but, like, they are the one, like, from a meta level, the writer of this is saying that the work of his own teammates is unimaginative. That's kind of funny. For guidance in spiritual matters, they turn to their ancestors. These ancestors, who are said to have returned to the stone, communicate their wishes to the living via brutal trials by combat called provings. The ancestors' collective wisdom is maintained by the Shaperate, which can apparently store records in Lyrium itself. Set above the ancestors, above even kings, are the Paragons, dwarves who have achieved such greatness that they are elevated almost to godhood. These are the great figures holding up the hallway that leads from the surface, the first glimpse of Ozima that outsiders see. Legion of the Dead. Yes, Stone's greetings, friend. You will fight ceaselessly in the Legion of the Dead. Motto of the Legion of the Dead. The Legion accepts all. So I was told by one of the Legionnaires himself, a dwarf who waited quietly at the entrance to the deep roads for the rest of his unit to assemble. They gathered slowly, each equipped with heavy armor and fine weapons, each painted with grim tattoos applied at their funerals the night previous. For that is... Oh, hiccup, pardon me. For that is the nature of the Legion. They are all dead. Any dwarf may join the Legion, so long as he is willing to give up everything he has. The funeral rites are somber. A final goodbye is said to family and loved ones. Any material goods are dispersed to heirs, and last words are said. And then it is done. The new legionnaire marches out into the deep roads, never to return. The Legion fights against the Darkspawn to the last, striking one final blow against the monsters that have claimed so much of their homeland. Many join the Legion to clear the slate. Criminals join to avoid punishment. The dishonoured join so that their houses and families need not suffer on their behalf. The bankrupted join so their debts might be forgiven. A very few join for a last chance at glory, but the Legion takes them too. This group hopes to reach the fabled Fortress of Bonamar, once the Legion's home, associated with the greatest of their paragons. Bonamar is a holy place. It's lost the last great blow against the dwarven kingdoms, and its recapture would be a glorious signal to all of Ozima. But capture it or no, all of these warriors will die in the deep roads. It is a sobering thought, and I now know why the dwarves say the Legion's charge is the battlefield's most frightening sight. They have nothing left to lose. Well, let's get the fucking Legion of the Dead on our side in the war against the Blight then. Sounds like a great idea. In praise of the humble nug on delicious nugs. I once served a human some nug and he proclaimed that it was like eating an unholy union of pork and hare. Pork's good. Can't say I've ever had hare. The idea disturbed him so much that he declined to finish his serving and made himself content with some stale bread. Of course, this only goes to show that surfacers, human or otherwise, have tragically unrefined palates. The nug is surely the most delicious animal I have ever tasted. Only a dead man would not salivate at the thought of a tender morsel of roast nug melting in his mouth. The Paragon Varan, although his house has fallen, shall always be remembered for discovering the wonders of nug flesh. Admittedly, it was discovered only out of desperation, when he was separated from his legion and lost in the deep roads for a week, but we won't hold that against a good paragon. While nug pancakes and nuggets... Fuck's sake. That's the word I keep thinking of when I see the word nug, is I think nuggets, and then they actually do that. My own children love these, are the nug dishes one encounters most often. Nug can be prepared in other interesting and elegant ways. The late King Angsar Aeducan adored nug seared on a hot metal plate and finished in the oven, and dressed in a cream sauce flavoured with deep mushrooms. You must be careful when using the mushrooms from the deep roads, because they often grow close to Darkspawn bodies. They say that this is what gives them their unique flavour and intoxicating scent, but it also means that consuming too many of them may result in curious afflictions of the mind. Oh, what a great fucking codex. From In Praise of the Humble Nug by Bragan Tolban, Honoured Chef to House Aeducan. I believe that was the last one, was it?
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Ozima was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories.
How'd you know who I am?
The Grey Warden's visit has been recorded in the memories, along with all who accompany you.
Let's talk about Ozima, Lord Shaper.
Ask, and I shall do my best to answer.
What's the difference between an Ancestor and a Paragon?
All dwarves who die return to the stone as ancestors, to guide their families forever. But only one every few generations rises to Paragon. A Paragon is a dwarf whose accomplishments change Ozima so much that the Assembly recognizes they've been born blessed. They are venerated as living ancestors and found a new noble house forever bearing their name.
And that's what Branka was?
Branka is a Paragon, now and into death. She was born a smith, but her inventions caught the Assembly's eye. Before she had seen 20 years, she created a smokeless coal. It could burn in a cave without vents and no one would choke from it. It earned her Paragon status.
Where is she now? We know. She took her whole family and fucked off into the deep roads.
She went into the deep roads 2 years ago seeking out secrets of the ancient smiths. She never returned.
Seems like a really dumb idea. How did the caste system come to be? Oh boy.
According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Shotgyar founded the artisans. Orzatyar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons.
What about the casteless?
The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born.
Yeesh.
Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young.
Jesus. It seems easy for you to dismiss them.
Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist.
Oh my god.
Is there something more pleasant you wish to discuss?
Tell me of Orzammar's history.
We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with Darkspawn.
How did you lose your golems?
The Paragon Ferelden, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the Darkspawn. One golem is worth 12 dwarves in battle, but Ferelden's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more.
Golems like this? Oh, hello, that must be a unique thing because we've got Shale in the party. We'll definitely have to take Shale into the deep roads to see if we can find this place where golems were created.
Yes. We have only a few dozen left in Orzammar, and I do not recognize this one. Where did you find it? Every golem is precious to us. We'd pay a good sum for a new find.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else? I must tell the rest of the Shaperate about this discovery.
Where is Kal Sharok?
At the other side of the old empire. During the last blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us.
Yeah, no shit. They're never going to. You fucking were like, just seal the tunnel. We'll just fuck them right off. Let's talk basic Orzammar again.
I will settle your mind if I can, Warden.
First questions.
Please, speak your mind.
Could you look at these promissory papers for me?
These are Haramont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperate. Where did you get these?
In Lord Haramont's personal library.
If you wish, you can make your words as false as the documents you bear.
The papers are forged?
Not entirely. There were 2 promised deals, but their terms differed significantly from what is presented here. It appears the scripter altered the dates and locations of the agreements to make them identical.
Is it true you're related to Haramont?
He is a kinsman, yes. If you count to the 6th degree of remove, I am related to every noble lineage still represented in Orzammar. I can even trace my descendant directly to House Sigmund, which lost its Tig to the Darkspawn 13 generations ago.
Do you get to vote on the next king?
The Shaperate do not vote. We simply record history as it happens.
But you have a preference?
I cannot speak my opinions. History can be changed with a careless word.
Can you tell me anything about Prince Balin?
The prince consulted me before his father died. He wanted to know about King Bimo, the last king to rule during a blight. I told him Bimo made many changes during his rule. The assembly was even disbanded for a 2-year period. Bimo declared that, in times of war, the warrior caste answered directly to the king, and all voting was suspended. Balin seemed quite interested.
What do you know about Vartag Gavorn?
The Gavorn family is a minor one, founded when a daughter of the Ferelden house married down to a warrior caste man. Her brother died, leaving her family heirless. So the assembly granted him a new family name and allowed him to adopt his daughter's children as heirs. Vartag Gavorn is on record asking the Assembly to bar Haramont from King Endrin's sick room. He's a vocal supporter of Prince Balin.
Thanks, I need to have words with someone.
You are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law. I hope you will not do anything to challenge the stability of Orzammar.
Me? Nah. Never.
Are you looking for records of the Grey Wardens? We have many.
Oh, yeah?
Disgusting. Someone stole from the Shaperate.
Oh, right.
Memories of
We already spoke to you.
Perhaps you should stand over there instead.
Perhaps you should fuck off, mate. Perhaps that. Right, that is everything here. Okay. So, where was that person? Didn't he say... I mean, apparently it's not even true, but maybe that guy's lying as well? But wasn't there supposed to be a person, one of the people that he wanted us to give these documents to? Weren't they supposed to be in the Diamond Quarter?
Lord Haramont is a weak man.
Ah, was it you? Lady Dace.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about.
Okay, so the question is, do we... It is her. So do we hand them over, or do we go back to the dude and be like, what the fuck, man? Are you Lady Dace?
I am. And what business would you have with me? You certainly should.
Let's go and see what he has to say about it, because it's also possible that the dude that we were just talking to was lying. So, you never know, right? Wait, no, this is the wrong place. Oh, fantastic how it autosaves every time you leave one of the houses here where there's no combat. I'm really glad there's an autosave every time
Lord Haramont said
you leave one of these joints, but not when you leave camp. And go to a combat thing. Where was this prick again? Oh, he was in the... He wasn't even here, was he? Fuck! He was over here.
Well, have you found Lady Dace and Lord Helmy?
I talked to the Shaper of Memories. These papers are forged.
Forged? Well, naturally they're forged. There is no legal way for Haramont to sell the same land twice over, is there?
Tell me where you really got these.
You want to know how the game is played? I wrote the papers and left a sizable fee with the registry office to back them. But if you think figuring it out gets you off the line, you don't understand how this works. I'm asking for a show of loyalty, so exactly how much truth is involved shouldn't matter in the slightest. Now, where does your allegiance lie, Warden?
I don't know. I'd need to know more about what these guys plan to do. I mean, the Shaper dude just told us that Balin was looking into what was done in previous blights, so at least he's like, he understands it's an issue and he's on top of things. So maybe Balin then? I don't know. I mean, let's tell him what he wants to hear for now.
Good. Now prove it. And don't come back again until you do.
I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. Sprint, 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 sprint. Sprint, sprint,
A new
sprint, sprint,
offensive
sprint, sprint, sprint,
is
sprint.
required against the Darkspawn, says Lord Mage.
Hello, Lady Dace.
You're back. Was there more you wished to discuss?
Yeah, you might want to look at these papers.
Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it.
Where is he? I'll bring these to him.
He is leading a deep roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient tide.
Of course he is.
It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt.
Where are we at?
He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go?
Sure.
So Balin's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
Okay, cool.
News of the hour. Is Lord Balin considering...
Then the other one was in the pub, right?
2 years tomorrow.
Let's go to the pub.
You're the best wrangler I've ever seen.
Only 12 fucking silver? Not worth my time. Was this the pub? No. Who are you? Wait. Can I just talk to you?
You're back? But it takes 2 weeks and 4 days minimum to make the journey to the Circle Tower.
Oh no, she just looks identical.
Thank you, great lady. But am I right in guessing you haven't left Ozima yet?
Why are you so interested in magic anyway?
Here in Ozima, we're surrounded by stone and tradition and more stone. Nothing ever changes. But to break every natural law by thinking about it, to dream and walk in a realm where everything you think comes true, I can't imagine anything more wonderful.
Okay, I'm not leaving Ozima until his election is resolved.
Well, I've waited 19 years. Another month won't kill me.
Fair enough. You with the mum. Here's the pub. Oi, dickhead. Oh wait, no, you're the based dwarf, right?
I wasn't expecting you back. I guess you realize this is about the only fun in Ozima?
I have news. Haramont is double dealing you and Lady Dace.
Oh, well, I'd ask for proof, or why you care, but frankly, I'm so tired of it I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even want the land, but my house would kill me if I turned it down. Responsibilities, you know. Now I'll have to go through the whole process of rejecting the deal. And they'll both have to try something else. And I thought it was going to be a nice day.
Huh? So you'll switch your vote to Balin?
Otherwise, my whole house will be humiliated. Doesn't make a difference anyway, one's as bad as the next.
He was really pro Haramont last time. Interesting. So I now have to do the deep roads thing, so... Do we just head off now then? Do we just head into the deep roads? We've got that pass, so I guess. I feel like I still don't have enough information to know who I should be supporting, but like... I guess we're heading in.
Just can't get enough of our clammy mine air, can you? Did you need something?
I'm looking for Lord Dace's patrol.
I see you have his daughter's seal, so I will not stop you. But be careful. Just because the beasts have pulled back from Ozima doesn't mean there are any fewer in the deep roads. Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
We've said all those, so I should go.
Best of luck.
Cheers, mate. Rune plate. Cut to Kal Sharok. 1155 of the Tevinter Imperium will be known as a year of painful decisions, but we cannot waver. The threat we face is the greatest we have known. If we are overrun, all trace of the Ancestor's glory will be undone. Ozima must stand, and it must stand alone. Hormak, Kal Sharok, Gundar. We have lost contact, and must assume they are lost to the Horde. We must seal the weakest link in our defense, the deep roads that lead to our fallen brethren. I have ordered our finest demolitionists to place the charges. I ask that each of you think of those we have lost. They served as a warning that spurred us to action, and I know the stone will embrace them. They are the foundation of our survival, and they will not be forgotten. From a proclamation by High King Threestone. 200 years! Kal Sharok lives, you stone-forsaken deep lords. There is no greater hatred than a brother at your throat. Graffiti. Author unknown. Alright, well, shit. Here we go. Oh, God. The Deep Roads gets their own map? Okay. Oh, man, look at that. Top middle. Is that a golem? Is top middle going to be the golem manufacture place, maybe? Okay, well, let's go. A Dukan Tig.